got myself into a lot of credit card debt because I got into a situation.
How long are you married?
Almost 5 years.
And you got with this person.
I thought we were going to be together. We were going to be in love. That wasn't the case because he was married. Technically, I was married too.
You and the married guy banging it up. You were.
Yeah, of course.
And he was married.
Yes.
That's homewrecker behavior.
Technically.
What are we looking at today? We got some weird and interesting debt. You make okay amount of money, so it's like a little confusing. I think we're gonna need a little context.
Okay.
What are we looking at?
So I'm kind of a mess.
Okay.
Okay, so it all started 2 years ago. I got divorced.
Okay.
And
32.
when I left my husband, I was only making like $16 an hour. And so that wasn't enough. And so I got myself into a lot of credit card debt because I moved into an apartment that I couldn't really afford, but I thought that someone else was going to be living with me in it. So that's
What do you mean? The ex?
No. Okay, so right after I got divorced, I got into a situation with somebody I knew from work. And
How quickly after the divorce?
well, like immediately. It was like a rebound, right? I guess is what they would call it.
Okay.
And
Like
we worked
the
together.
day after?
Maybe. Like, sort of. Yes.
Okay.
So I knew him, right? We worked together. That's how we met.
Wait,
And
how long are you married?
almost 5 years.
Did you guys ever have any kids?
Yes.
And you got with this person a day after?
Yes, but see what I thought he was like the love of my life.
A day after a divorce. Okay.
Yes.
Sure. And you thought he'd be living with you?
Yes. Like I thought we were going to be together. We were going to be in love. But then that wasn't the case because he was married.
Oh.
Which I know it sounds terrible, right?
That sounds
but
terrible.
I thought he was just like the love of my life. And we met under these unusual circumstances, which technically like I was married too, right? Like, so.
Wait a Okay. No, sorry. Go on. Go on. I'm
so
not
like
processing.
from the time I moved out of my house to the time my divorce was finalized was probably like 6 months, maybe a little longer. So like technically I was married.
When
right?
So like the day after you were like, hey, I'm divorcing you? Is that how that went?
My ex-husband?
Yeah.
Well, we had like a conversation.
And we were like, okay, so it's ending in a divorce. We understand. Then
Yes.
the next day, you were with that dude?
Well, no, I mean not exactly. But very soon after, yes.
But he was married?
Yes, so I was under the impression that he was the same kind of married that I was, which
The
like
same kind. What kind of married is that?
which is like
That's insane.
no, hear me out. So like
Okay. No, I'm hearing you out. It just doesn't really vibe with my personal morals on that.
right?
But
No.
go for it. Go.
So,
Go.
like,
You say your thing. We're trying to get context for how you ended up here. So go ahead. Go ahead.
Legally married, right?
Oh yeah.
Like was not divorced yet, but we were not living together.
Yeah, but you also met up with the dude the day after, and he was married as well.
Not the day after. That makes it within a couple of weeks, right? So, anyways, he had me under the impression that they were getting divorced, but they owned a home together. They owned vehicles together, so it was like a longer process, right?
But yeah,
So-
you guys had a kid.
Yeah, but we didn't have any like finances together, so it wasn't hard.
Okay.
Right. So he was like, I'm leaving. Like they're not together anymore, right? They're just in this process of getting divorced. That was my understanding. Turned out that wasn't the case at all. And I found that out several months
How long are
later.
you guys together?
Me and the guy?
Sorry, I know this isn't like straight finances right here. We're trying to give context for the finances, but I do have to be a little honest that I am quite interested in this.
That's fine.
So I will give it at least a couple more minutes.
We were together maybe 6 months.
You and the married guy.
Yeah, married.
Banging
That's
it
what
up.
I thought.
Banging it up.
Well,
You were
well, yeah, of course.
and he was married.
Yes.
That's homewrecker behavior.
Technically. That is true. It's
Yeah.
embarrassing.
Yeah.
But they're still together.
Wait a minute. And you signed a lease expecting him to live with you? Yeah, they're still together. Does she know?
Oh, yeah.
Are they open?
No.
Future wife, please don't cheat on me. I would be... That's... Okay.
Yeah, so she found out about me. And I was kind of like...
Oh, she found out. Okay.
Yes. It was a whole thing.
Yeah, let me loop this back to finances. So you signed a lease expecting to live with him because you thought he was the love of your life?
Well, like
a married man that you met?
Wait. When you say it like that, it sounds bad. But
Girl, I'm going off what you're saying.
No, and what I'm saying is that right now, of course, now I see your perspective.
No. I'm just saying, did you get the apartment expecting to live with him?
Eventually, yeah. I thought
what was eventually
he would move in. I don't know, within like a few months. There was something that was happening that he was waiting. You know, there was like a kind
maybe
of a
he had a
timeline.
wife.
Yeah. So I couldn't really afford it, but it was also the cheapest place I could find. So I don't really know what I could have done differently necessarily. And it does sound crazy.
So that's how you started getting into debt?
Yeah. So when I got divorced, I didn't have any credit card debt at all. I had credit cards, but no balances on them.
Yeah.
But I did have all this student loan debt. That's been there. So yeah. So I ended up in the credit card debt because I didn't make enough money to live my life, but I had to.
Well, you signed up for a life for two with this like dream that didn't exist.
Yeah. It's so sad.
It was it feels like was it like a fantasy in your head?
No.
Why did you think he was going to move in and take care of half the payment?
Because that's what he was telling me.
Okay,
like
so he was
like,
leading you.
I'm going to marry you. You're the love of my life.
Did they have kids?
Yes. Teenager.
This is gross. Okay.
It is gross. But
is it?
They're so happy.
You think so? Okay.
It is. I mean, it's embarrassing, right? But it's also like a part of my life. It happened
2 years ago.
2 years ago.
At 32.
That's a long time. But I'm trying to do better, right? That's why I'm
here. Sure.
And my life is so much better.
So you started going into debt because of that? And then...
Well, not because of the guy.
That was 2 years ago, but because you lived a lifestyle too high because he didn't move in.
Yeah, because I truly could not afford
my
life with the job
2 years ago.
Had.
So
yeah.
What have we done these last 2 years?
Okay, so about a year ago, I got a way better job. This job I have now, right? So
it's a good job.
I basically doubled my income.
Oh, sure.
So it's been way better. I moved into a better place.
That's okay.
Which was necessary.
What do you mean?
So the place I was living when I first got divorced was like a tiny home.
Yeah, the place you couldn't afford. Okay.
Yeah, it's meant to be like a storage shed, right?
It was storing you.
Yeah, and my child.
Yeah.
And so it was like 500 square feet and just all one room, basically. It was not ideal.
Yeah, you were living in a studio.
Yeah.
People live in studio. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
Okay, but when you have a little kid, you have lots of stuff. She'll be 5 soon.
What is she going to think when she...
I don't like it.
Okay.
I think people do this all the time, right? That's part of like love is like taking a chance on something. And like it sounds crazy, but I really thought like he was like the one, right? And then he wasn't. And that's partially because he was lying to me and I just believed it because I wanted to believe it.
That's insane.
But now, in retrospect, it's very clear what was happening.